Good day everyone, I am Kenneth A. Gregorio and today we are going to talk about the Paris Exposition of 1889. In the spring of 1889, Paris was bursting with excitement as it was preparing for Universal Exposition. Thousands of visitors from all over the world drew towards the city. Rizal himself was already not feeling well because there were so many passengers in the train. As the passengers conversed, they spoke different languages. Rizal noted in his diary that because he understood all the languages the passengers were speaking, French, German, Spanish, and English, he was already growing dizzy. Most hotels and inns were already fully booked. Even boarding houses and rooms for rent were already occupied. Also, everywhere rates were growing sky high. Rizal, fresh from London, was caught in the spinning Parisian life. Although life in Paris was joyful, Rizal continued to be busy in his serious pursuits. Hours were too precious for him to waste that he had to spend them practically enough. Setting aside the alluring attractions of Parisian life and the Moulin Rouge nightlife which appealed to the ordinary young men, he spent most of his time reading in the Biblioteca Nationale and checking up on his historical annotations on Morga's book. In his spare hours, he spent time with friends like the Ramirez, the Rocha, and the Luna families. Rizal was also a frequent visitor of the Boasted family at the Rue de Basins. Mr. Edward Boasted was Spanish-French descent born in the Philippines who had a Filipina wife. Because of this, he welcomed Filipinos at his home. He had two attractive daughters, Nellie and Adeline. By this time, Rizal was already courting Nellie. In Paris, Rizal continued his studies of languages and also attended during Sundays fencing lessons at the studio of Luna. Rizal organized his paisanos into a society called the Kidlat Club. It was a temporary social club with temporary nature. It was founded by Rizal simply to bring together the young Filipinos in the capital so that they could enjoy their travels in the city during the International Exposition. Rizal and the members of the Kidlat Club usually went sightseeing trips. In one occasion, they saw Buffalo Bill's troop and were impressed by the American Indians. The tall, dignified, proud, and powerfully built Indians ignited Rizal's imagination. Rizal came to a realization that there's nothing to be ashamed of being called Indios or Indians, since it only truly means being a man from the East. Soon, the members of the Kidlat Club agreed to assume new name, the Indios Bravos. On December 25, 1889, it was a cold winter day in Paris. Rizal and Jose Albert planned to have a delightful Christmas dinner. They accumulated enough money to celebrate the Yuletide. With it, the two prepared a Christmas dinner with fried chicken, rice, and vegetables. This dinner proved to be the last Christmas dinner of Rizal in Paris. He came back to the city to compare his work of Morga's Successos with the original copy in the British Museum. He also wanted to visit Gertrude Beckett for the last time. He went back to Paris and left again for Brussels, the capital of Belgium. At one time in London, Rizal once more met by accident his friend from Tokyo, Teko Suhiro. The two made a brief conversation and soon carried on with their business. This was the last time they would see each other. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.